Hi, it's time to cook again. Today I'm going to make a chocolate cream cake. This is really easy because it starts out with the box, believe it or not. However, I can't leave well enough alone, so I'm going to soup it up a little bit. I'm going to take it to the next level, or as you might say, think outside the box. Now if you want, just make your regular box cake. You don't have to do anything special, but this is easy and it makes it taste a little bit better. So I have one package of chocolate cake mix in here. This happens to be Devil's Food. And what I'm going to add next is 1 cup of sour cream. Just dump it all right in there. Okay. Now I'm going to add 3 eggs, 3/4 cup water. I'm going to add 1/2 cup of just vegetable oil, canola oil. Make it nice and moist. And of course, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Again, you don't have to do this, but it's easy, so why not, right? Gotta get it open here. Brand new bottle. I go through a lot of vanilla, as you might guess. There we go. Now we're going to mix this together and bake it for 28 to 32 minutes at 350. So let me put this in here. Sorry, it'll be noisy for a minute. So, gotta get started first. Don't make a mess. So rather than make you watch this whole thing, I'm going to mix this up, put it in my 2 pans, round pans that I've already sprayed with nonstick cooking spray. Bake it at 350 for 28 to 32 minutes, and then we'll be back to finish it off. This is just the base. Wait till you see what comes next. This is so good, and everybody loves it. Hi. So the cake is cooked and cooling, and now I'm going to make the filling. This is so good. In this bowl, I have 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese, come to room temperature, along with 1 stick of butter, both at room temperature. So when I started making my cake in the beginning, I just set these out, and here we go. So I'm going to mix those together to start. And then I'm going to add 3 cups of confectioner sugar. And as usual, I've sifted this because it just makes it smoother and it takes no time to do. So that's what we're doing. Okay, that looks mixed up pretty well. Now we've got to be careful with this because it will fly everywhere. So put your mixer on low and just gradually add this in. A little bit tedious, but trust me, if you don't, you're going to have powdered sugar on your clothes, your face, your hair, everywhere. Counter floor. This is so good. And yes, if there's any left over, I eat with a spoon. Okay, we're almost there. See, it flopped out a little bit. Okay, I'm going to turn the speed up just a little bit. Make sure it's really good and mixed. I'm going to scrape down the sides. Get all that powdered sugar in there. Okay, that's a good idea. Okay, that's good. Look how beautiful that is. It's good just the way it is, but we're going to take it up a notch, the next level, and we're going to add Cool Whip, 8-ounce tub of frozen dessert topping. Only this is thawed, obviously, so I can mix it. Now this is easy so far, right? You know, people see recipes, and I'm going to fold this in. People see recipes and they think, oh my God, I could never make that. It's just too complicated. Well, some of them are, quite frankly. You know, if they have 20 ingredients, I get tired of just measuring. Certain recipes are really good, but they take so much chopping that I don't do that either. It's true confession. So I'm mixing all this together. That's our filling for the cake. And folding, like I told you again, start in the middle, turn to the outside, turn everything and just, whoops, keep going. Trying not to totally deflate the Cool Whip. Let's get all of this in here. Okay. A little bit more folding. Almost there, folks. Let's give it a taste. Oh my gosh, that is so good. It doesn't even need vanilla. And that's saying something coming from me. Okay, so this is mixed up. Now, I'll be back in a minute after the cake is cooled, and then put it together and I'm going to cover it with chocolate ganache in the end. Again, another thing that's easy to make. So I'll see you shortly. Hi, now the filling is done and I'm going to get my cakes ready. I have 2 cake layers. Now, the recipe calls for just 2 layers, filling in the middle, and you're done. I couldn't leave well enough alone, so we're going to cut each layer in half because my favorite part is the filling, so I get more filling that way. Now you could just take a long serrated knife and cut this. I happen to have one of these little doodads, and let me show you how it works. I'm going to first level off the top of it. Now you don't have to do all this stuff, but this will come across and just make the cake level. And you just wiggle it back and forth like this. Obviously save this part and you have a level cake. Make sure I got it on both sides here. Yes. Okay, I'm going to do that with the other one. You know, the cakes always come out round. Well, this one is a little bit shorter, wouldn't you know? Okay, just needs to take off a little bit. Again, you don't have to do this. I'm just showing you how. I love this little device. Okay, now I'm going to cut them in half, so I just lower my strain. Make sure that looks about like half, and it does. So we're going to cut it in half. Fairly gently wiggle it back and forth. And there you have it. I'm going to do the same with the other one. Okay, so that's done. So I'm going to start with one layer on the bottom. Move this over so you can see it. And while this is going on, I've got some water heated over here, which I'll show you in a minute. And, well, I'll just show you now. I'm going to make the ganache. I've got some water in this pan. I have 8 ounces of chocolate chips, semi-sweet. I guess you could use dark if you want. Half a cup of heavy cream. And something you might think strange, but every good chocolate recipe I see has this in it. I have instant espresso coffee powder right here. And it calls for half a teaspoon. Now I'm going to put in a little bit less than that. But it really accentuates the chocolate flavor. I don't know how or why, but it does. If you're really opposed, leave it out. It'll still taste good. So that's just going to melt slowly while we're doing this. Here's the filling we made earlier. So I'm just going to divide this right here. Just going to use a knife and spread it around. I do have an offset spatula, but I forgot to get it out and I don't want to make you wait. This is all easy so far, right? A couple of extra steps, but none of it's hard. And since we're using ganache and not icing, you don't have to be just absolutely perfect with this. Okay, I'm going to put the next layer on. Add a little more filling. I've never had anyone try this and not like it. I mean, they usually just rave about it. You don't have to tell them how easy it is. Just tell them, it took you all day, and because they're worth it. Get it to the edge, but again, it doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, sometimes things are better if they're not perfect, right? Okay, I'm going to put the next layer on. More filling. Filling and icing are my favorite parts. I know some people don't like cake. I actually met someone that doesn't like cake. I had never heard of that before. I guess I live in a very sheltered world, but yeah, they actually didn't like cake. Now, I have to say there's some other desserts that perhaps I like better, like cheesecake. I've never heard of anyone that didn't like cake. I actually met someone that said they were allergic to chocolate too, which, I know that's possible. Okay, almost done here. Now I'm going to have some filling left. I'll put just a little bit more on here, and I'll use the rest for something else. Okay, I'm going to stop and give this a little stir. You want this on medium to medium-low because you don't want to overheat your chocolate. You want it to melt slowly. Okay, and the last layer goes on, and that's it. What goes on top now will be the ganache. I'll just smooth it out a little bit here. Not a lot. Again, doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to be covered with all that wonderful ganache. Now, I'm going to let you go for just a minute while I finish the ganache, and I'll show you what to do. Hi, I'm back. So, the ganache has melted. Again, it was a half a cup of heavy cream, 8 ounces of chocolate chips. I use semi-sweet. And a teaspoon of the coffee granules, instant espresso. So we are ready. Now this next part's really hard. We just pour it over. I'm going to take it out of here, and there's a little bit of water on the bottom, obviously. So try that out. Okay. Might be a little messy, but I'm just going to slowly pour this in the middle. And just gently kind of move it around. I like the messy, drippy look, so I want it to go over the edge, but in some sort of control. So I just kind of gently push it towards all the edges. I say I'm going to make extra. I've never made a double batch, but that would sure be pretty. Whoops, pushed a little too much that time. Again, it's not going to completely cover it. It's just kind of Art Nouveau, Art Deco, whatever. Okay, obviously I'm going to clean up the base here. That doesn't go. That's just my turntable. And that's it. Well, this is going to my husband's poker game, so I can't cut into it and show it to you, but it's so easy and it's so delicious. I hope you'll try it. Again, nothing has to be perfect here. Like I said, I kind of like that drippy, messy look, but if you want it completely covered, make a double batch of the ganache. So I hope you try it, and I hope you think it's easy, because it is. Thanks for joining me.